All right, everyone. This morning I saw a Mental Floss post over on Twitter, and I just had to riff on this because this is fucking hilarious. Link in the description, not archived, of course. It's just a tweet from Mental Floss saying that, talking about pregnant people. So, pregnant people often face problems and there's issues and stuff like that. Those poor pregnant people. And pretty much everyone was pointing out, I think that you mean pregnant women. You see, women can get pregnant. They can become impregnated because they have a cervix and a womb and ovaries and all of these other things. They're capable of conceiving. They just need a good shot of sperm up in there, and then they can make babies. It is not pregnant people. It is pregnant women. There are men and there are women. It depends on the chromosome they have and the gametes that they create. The latter being secondary. Of course, the chromosome determines the actual gender. You either do or do not have a Y chromosome. That makes you either male or female. Some people have secondary mutations that prevent them from producing, gametes. They're incapable, they're infertile. For instance, again, men with that very rare secondary 46XY karyotype, they cannot produce children. They would present as female. You'd never know the difference actually because their body cannot absorb testosterone. In fact, I'm not even sure injecting testosterone would actually treat the condition. I don't think there is a treatment for it really. This was in a Dr. House episode, Case actually, CAIS, I believe it is. And then you have like women with Turner syndrome, X0, they're infertile, but they're clearly female, and so on forth. This solves for literally every possible gender abnormality for a primary or secondary, by the way. Pregnant people do not exist. Pregnant women exist. If you are capable of getting pregnant when inseminated, you are female. There's no alternative. This is a 100% overlap. Like, for instance, I could take estrogen and I could have my dick inverted and I could start dressing in a pink tutu. This does not make me biologically female. I'm not capable of becoming pregnant. Even if I have the neo vagina thing going on, it ain't gonna work. You can fuck over and over again 1,000 times. You're never gonna get pregnant. That's because you can't get pregnant. Only women can get pregnant. Now, a woman can phenotypically alter herself and start taking testosterone, cut her boobs off, have forearm flesh removed and turned into a rudimentary penis and stuff like that. But the ovaries are still there. I mean, unless the person has had a hysterectomy, I suppose. I don't know if this is really a thing within trans surgery. I don't believe so. So you still have the capability of becoming pregnant in theory. You may or may not be able to do anything with your junk down there that would actually lead to this, but at the same time, you're capable of doing so. That's just the way that it is. And so the idea of using the concept of pregnant people doesn't really make sense. Yes, they're people. Believe it or not, women are people. I think that the left is disregarding this at times because it appears to seem that they want to erase the very existence of women, like they don't exist. It's going to be like that one movie, the title of which I cannot say on a YouTube video, Gay N-Words from Outer Space. We're going to create an all-male society free of females or something like that. It sounds a little bit weird actually at times. It's basically Frankenscience more than anything else. There are no, yeah, the people that get pregnant are people, believe it or not. Yes, women are actually human beings. That doesn't mean that men can get pregnant because they can't. And when they try to blur those lines and say, well, yes, men can get pregnant because this woman who does not have a Y chromosome decided to take testosterone can still get pregnant, but identifies as a man. Well, that's gender identity. That's not your actual gender. It's not your actual sex necessarily, unless unless you've gotten the neopenis or something like that. Your biological sex will be the same, and sex and gender usually, but do not always, of course, overlap. There are hermaphrodites. There are people with secondary disorders of genetic disorders of various kinds. And so they may be female but present as male, male present as female. That's phenotype. That's not genotype. Gender is in the genotype. Sex is in the phenotype. That's basically the difference. You can alter your sex anytime you want to. I can get bottom surgery anytime I want. So could you. But that doesn't change your genetic structure and it doesn't change your capability of becoming pregnant. It doesn't matter if a woman decides to chop off her breasts. If she's still got a vagina and working ovaries, she's capable of getting pregnant. And it is a she. The fact that you feel male is perfectly fine. Gender expression, dress the way you want, screw how you want, do whatever you want. Nobody cares. You're consenting adults. As long as you're not dragging kids or animals in it or something like that, nobody really cares at this point. Nobody really gives a fuck. When you begin declaring that other people need to mind your pronouns or pretend that men are capable of getting pregnant, that goes a little bit of a step too far, I think. Or when kids are involved, reading the Sphincterbation book, Why Billy Loves His Asshole or something like that. It's becoming discomforting because the original goal was to have equality. Like for instance, with like the gay marriage struggle and stuff like that. And I feel so sorry for some random gay dude who simply just likes cock. All he wants to do is get some cock. And now he's being lumped in with people who are minor attracted persons, pedophiles, and things like that. These are not the same thing. It's quite self-evident. All of these categories and weird hierarchies that are being created are made to screw with your mind. The very idea of transgenderism, by the way, does not even exist. You cannot change your gender. You can change your phenotypical sex. You can change the hormones that your body is absorbing. You can get all sorts of surgeries and dress the way that you want and live the way that you want and do everything that you want to do. Who cares? I've met plenty of trans people. Most of them are pretty chill, and most of them, by the way, do not dovetail themselves to some ideological movement. It's basically the same as the gay community. Gay people get lumped in with the so-called minor attracted persons, pedophiles, and then all of a sudden they're made to answer for groups of people that they don't even necessarily have anything in common with. Some lesbians or something like that. I find that very, very sad and very, very strange. People need to take a step back and look at these hierarchies and categories for what they really are. An attempt at mind control more than anything else. That's literally what they are. Groups that are subversive and do want to victimize and harm other people, bootstrap themselves and ride the tailcoats of other movements that actually make sense. Gay rights movement. Hey, we want to get married and not have bricks thrown at us. Okay, well that makes sense. You're citizens, law-abiding, adults. You don't want to be physically assaulted, and you want to be able to leave property to the person that you happen to love. No problem. Who gives a fucking shit? We're lesbians or something like that. Somebody's asexual. They just don't want to bang. They just want to flick the bean or something. All right, whatever gets you off, whatever floats your boat. When you start dragging some of these other things in here, like the id poll with the pregnant people thing, birthing persons, I've heard as well, which is even more ludicrous. Or you're lumping these people in with child molesters and stuff like that, then this is apples to oranges. Simply being a lesbian does not mean you're also interested in 10-year-olds. Just saying. But this has been lost in the fog of war over the IDPOL cultural battles, I suppose, at this point. And unfortunately, it goes in both directions. You've got the left, which is seeking constantly to ingratiate itself to these different groups of people. I don't even like the term groups because I think of people as individuals, but we'll use the colloquial parlance. They seek to lump them in, and then people on the right, the more moralistic people tend to react by taking the bait. And so they'll throw some random gay dude in with somebody who's diddling 5-year-olds. Well, they're not necessarily the same thing. Not everyone who is a homosexual is interested in children. Not everyone who's interested in children is a homosexual. Uh, so these categories get blurred together for propagandistic purposes more than anything else. Pregnant people, fucking get lost, dude. Pregnant people, you mean women. You mean women who have successfully conceived. Those are the only people that can get pregnant. Men cannot. I cannot get pregnant. Maybe in the future there will be some sort of weird technology that allows a person to produce the opposite gametes or something like that. It's probably possible. Until that time happens, though, you're going to have to deal with the fact that men have sperm and a Y chromosome potentially to donate. Women do not. They don't have a Y chromosome. They have a womb and ovaries and things like that. This is simple biology. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. The fact that there are still people attempting to debate this point is anti-scientific when you really think about it. This is fairly well established. Name me one example where a dude with a Y chromosome has ever conceived a child. It has never happened in the history of mankind. And my artificial womb ain't gonna work as an argument either because, yeah, surgically implanting an artificial womb, number one, sounds ghastly, and number two, that biological material does not have a Y chromosome either. Not exactly how that would work because of the need for anti-rejection drugs and things of that nature. I'm supposing they're working tirelessly to try to figure out how to do it though, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, just to prove that they can, I suppose. That's about all. Peace out.